Okay, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining this month's webinar. Today, we are going to talk about Microsoft 365 and an exciting new promotion we have. We're going to cover the promotion. We're also going to talk in depth about the value that RapidScale delivers and how we are quite highly differentiated in the market with our 365 offer. My name is Duncan MacDonald. I am the Director of Product Development for RapidScale, so really pleased to be here. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. One of my colleagues, Wah, will be here to assist, and he will be answering those questions live as you drop them in the chat. I want to remind everybody this webinar is being recorded. And any questions we don't get to, we will absolutely answer them via email as soon as possible. And with that, let's get started. Let's have some fun. Okay, so Microsoft Office 365. We have launched a promotion with Microsoft Office 365 in the business plans and also with phone system that is incredibly aggressive. In fact, it is 15% off over a 3-year term. And if you look at what the list prices were for these, for most managed service providers, they were anywhere from $7.99 for business basic, or $8.99 if it was including an add-on like email, all the way up to $23.99 for business premium. We've got really aggressive with this, and we have dropped this 15% for a 3-year term. And that's over the entire term. This isn't a 1-month promo. It isn't a 6-month promo. This is for the entire term that we are selling this into the customer for. If you look at the right-hand side of this table, you will actually see that we are actually cheaper than Microsoft now for a number of these SKUs. That is actually fantastic when you think about it, because we're not Microsoft. We are a value add reseller. And I'm going to go back to the value time and time again with this promotion. So not only are we offering an aggressive promotion, we are packaging up a ton of value with this offer. We'll come back to the pricing in a little bit, but I want to emphasize that we're cheaper than Microsoft, but we're also adding a ton of value with this promotion as well. Okay, so let's jump to the next slide. So let's go into a little bit of the terms around the condition, around the promotion, sorry. So 15% off a 3-year contract. So the first thing I want to highlight, if we go to the right of the screen, you'll see that there's 3 blocks. So we're running this promotion for a long time. Normally you see promotions and they run for a month, they maybe run for 3 months. We are going to run this promotion for the next 2 years in some fashion. So the first block, we are running 15% from now until the end of this year. So basically, any sales you make of the previous SKUs that we showed, you can sell into a 3-year term for those SKUs, and you will get 15% off a 3-year term for basically those SKUs. The next block, basically from January to June of 2022, we will reduce the discount, and it will go from 15% down to 12%. And then from July to December, so H2 of next year, we will come out with a new rate. Now, it may be 12%. It could be as low as 9 or 10%. We're actually unsure of that rate right now, because it's going to be based upon how well the promotion does. In other words, how many units we sell. So this promotion, just for everybody's education on this, was actually put together and formulated in partnership with Microsoft. So we had a lot of negotiations, a lot of T's and C's with Microsoft, and hence why this is a 2-year program. We have targets to hit, and we have goals that we want to achieve, hence why we don't exactly know what the long-term July to December next year will be. And by the way, there will be another window after that. There will be the January to June of 2023 as well. We just don't know what those predictions are going to be yet, because this, as I say, is going to be sales and target based for us. So let's talk on the left-hand side what some of the tenets of this promotion are going to be. So this is for net new Microsoft 365 sales only. Now I want to give a little bit of color and clarity around this. This does not mean net new Microsoft 365 sales, meaning they don't have to be a 365 new customer. They have to be a Microsoft 365 net new logo to RapidScale. So I want to be clear on that. They could already be a 365 customer, but they're transitioning as a net new logo to RapidScale. So I want to be clear on that one, okay? So we don't care if they're already on 365. We care that they're a net new 365 logo to us, okay? The second one I want to point out is that this is the commercial plans only. The same discounts have not been extended to education. The same discounts have not been extended to not-for-profit plans. And that probably makes sense to everybody, I would think, because those plans are already highly discounted. They're already highly incentivized. Microsoft do not have an appetite to discount those plans further. They already give high discounts on those plans, okay? So what are the minimums around selling the business plans, around selling phone system? And don't worry, we're going to go into some examples around these, okay? So this is actually pretty simple to sell. When talking to your rep on the RapidScale side, they will walk you through this. They've all been trained. The minimums are 75 seats or $1,000 monthly recurring revenue. And the same with phone system, it's 50 seats or $500 monthly recurring revenue. Now let me explain why the "or" is in there. Because this is measured on an individual sales order, and it could be 75 seats of the business plans, or it could be $1,000 of revenue on the sales order, which actually is pretty exciting from our perspective, because that $1,000 could be made up of another solution. So it could be 75 seats and you would get the discount on those 75 seats of business plans, or it could be 25 seats and it could be $800 against an SD-WAN solution that takes it above the $1,000 threshold. The reason we engineered it this way is because we wanted to provide options. We also wanted to drive up the monthly recurring revenue. This seemed like a very inventive way to do that. It seemed like a good way, and sales liked this solution to be able to give options to drive up revenue, as opposed to just one path to drive revenue. You either meet the threshold or you don't meet the threshold. And let's be clear, customers are multi-solution customers. We want customers to seat with more than one solution today, right? So same with phone system, 50 seats or $500 monthly recurring. Okay, so additional seats. So what happens when we sell the promotion, and then the customer comes back and they say, great, I bought 50 seats and I met the $1,000 threshold, or I bought 75 seats and now I want an additional 50 seats or an additional 100 seats. So those seats will be applied at the then current rate. So that pivots over to the boxes on the right. So if you sell into the promotion between now and December, and then you sell additional seats between now and December, they will get the then current rate, which is 15%. If you sell the customer at between now and December, and then you sell them additional seats between January and June, they will get the 12% rate, because that will be the then current rate. And I think that probably makes sense to everybody. You're going to get the rate of the current promotion when you upsell. Okay. Last question about the promotion, and this is pretty standard contract languages. The promotion cannot be combined with any other promotion without prior approval. This is just standard legal language that goes into most promotions, I think you will find. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so the value, okay? Why Microsoft 365 with RapidScale? So there's nothing new here. This has been our story, I think, from almost day one. In fact, when we reproductized the 365 offering going back about 3 years ago, this was the story we put together, but it is a big part of it, even so now, like 50%, we want to go out with that strong value add story. So manage migration, right? We combine a very strong migration story with our offering. You've got a lot of providers out there that are also providing migration. You've got a lot of providers out there that are charging a lot of money for migration. We don't look at migration as a cost center. I think that's important to point out. We look at 365 and our as a solution that we can get with the customer and get that customer on board for a long time, and then potentially sell additional solutions with that customer. The migration is absolutely an important part, but it is not a cost center. There are providers out there that look at the migration as a cost center. That is not a portion that we look at as a cost center for us. Now, some of the other values are where we absolutely are highly differentiated from other providers. Our support is one of them. Our CSAT score is off the charts. 4.6, 4.7 has been as high, I believe, as 4.8 on the CSAT score. There are providers that are way lower on the CSAT score. Our sales reps can obviously help give the materials, help push why our support is stronger. It is end user support. It is 24/7. It is US based. You've got support on the other end of the spectrum. I think most support is 24/7, but you've got support that certainly is not end user. You've got support that certainly is not US based. We believe in all of those tenets for a good, strong support package. Nulia. So Nulia, I'll give a quick refresher on what Nulia is. Nulia is a product that we brought on board about 3 years ago, and it is now integrated with Teams. So why is that important? Well, the reason it's important is because each and every one of us, I think, works out of Teams each and every day, almost automatically. So Teams is right at the center. It's a focal point for how we work each and every day. So Nulia Complete being embedded and within Teams is so important. So what is Nulia? Nulia is a training and adoption suite that has learning packages built into it. And those learning packages, there's about 40 of them, are basically centered around Office 365. There are learning packages on Outlook, there are learning packages on Teams, there are learning packages on how to work from home, there are learning packages on SharePoint, OneDrive, you name it, right? And as I said, the important part about this is it's an application within Teams. You're already working within Teams. You just click on Nulia, tell it which outcome, they're called outcomes, these learning packages. You tell it which outcome you want to learn, and it will start giving you the videos, start giving you the knowledge documents, the knowledge base on that. And then it will measure your performance. It will tell you, hey, you're starting to use Outlook, or you're starting to use the Office suite in ways you were not before. You're starting to use the collaboration tools a lot more effectively. You're starting to use co-authoring or sharing of documents in a way that it's intended to be used. So that's why Nulia for us, and Nulia Complete for us, is such a powerful and important part of the value add that we offer that nobody else does, right? Offering a suite like 365 is great, but you've got to teach people how to use it, how to get the most out of it, how to use 365 as a collaborative tool, how to get the most out of it for your company, drive down those costs, drive up that adoption, right? The next one is another tool that we have put a tremendous amount of research and development into, and it is our management portal. This is our single pane of glass. All customers get access to this, and customers can do a tremendous amount of things for this, and there is a roadmap. This is a constant wheel of development for us. What I will say here is, just on the surface, customers can log in, they can see their services, they can see the status of their services, uptime, downtime, they can submit tickets, they can see billing, they can see what services they don't have, they can do MACD functions. So in other words, they can modify, add, change, and delete services. 365, in fact, is probably one of the most powerful ones, where they can add, remove, delete users. That is so powerful. And again, we are one of the few providers that provides this level of rich functionality that other providers just have not gone to that level. So again, these are value adds that we believe in, and we are adding this not just against 365, but against all our services. One other layer that isn't in here, I'm going to mention it, is identity as a service. Identity as a service is another rich layer of value that, again, you want to be able to log in, you want to be able to have that autonomous experience against all your services, right? You want to be able to log in and say, I can have single service sign-on, multi-factor authentication against all my services. That, again, is another service and another layer of experience we are looking to extend to our customers very quickly. And again, part of the why Microsoft 365 with RapidScale. And then finally, email backup. This is against the non-starter plans only, but we believe in enriching our solution with features like backup, and then you can extend them further with things like security layer on top of that as well. So again, a lot of features, a lot of richness that we can extend above just selling a license. We don't just sell licenses, we sell a lot of value bundled into the 365 portfolio and packaging. Last thing I'll point out here is we are a Microsoft Gold partner. We have been for a long time across a number of competencies, and we are always looking to extend that. We are looking to extend the number of competencies that we are a Gold partner with Microsoft. Okay, so let's look at some examples that this promo can be applied against. So as I said, 75 seats is that threshold, right? So you could buy 60 seats of Business Basic, you could buy 15 seats of Business Premium, and this promotion would apply. It would trigger, and you would get the 15% discount. First example, pretty vanilla, pretty simple example. The second one is Business Premium. This would also trigger. You've only got 50 seats though. It has not triggered on that 75 seat threshold. The reason this triggered is because, if you remember, it was 75 seats or $1,000. So this actually triggered on the $1,000 trigger. So it went above the $1,000. So that's why it triggered. The third one was ineligible because it did not trigger on either 75 seats or $1,000. So it was 30 seats. and it came in at $269.70. It did not trigger, no promotion. Now, I want to talk through this third one for a second, because it could trigger if we were to add another solution to it. So you could trigger it in one of two ways. You could add more seats and it might trigger. It might get above the 75 seat threshold, or it might get above the $1,000. Now you could get it above the seat threshold by adding more seats. You could get it above the $1,000 threshold by adding more seats. Or there could be a secondary solution. We might add SD-WAN to it. We might add desktop as a service, right? So another solution could also get it above the $1,000 threshold. So I just want everybody to be aware that there are options to get the 15% discount, and it will trigger once it sees that $1,000. It will trigger. Boom, done. Okay. Okay. So as with anything that we try to put together, we want to give you the tools. We want to arm you, make this easy for you to sell. The marketing team here have put together some fantastic collateral. We have a great landing page. We have social media graphics, I believe, both on Twitter and LinkedIn. We have the flyer that basically goes through that same first page that talks about some of the high level terms and conditions. It talks about the pricing that you're getting at 15%. We have the videos, our product slicks, and then we have also an email template to help when articulating this and sending it out to individual prospects as well. So there's a lot of great resources, and your sales rep on the RapidScale side will absolutely help you with all of this. We'll share these assets with you. But as I said, the marketing team have done a great job in putting these materials together. Okay, so how to get started? Well, here are our reps. I think most of you know your reps. I'm not going to spend too long on this page, but if you have any questions, reach out to myself, reach out to Summer. We will be more than happy to share this, and I believe Summer, you'll make the deck. You'll share the deck and you'll make the deck available, I believe, as well.
Yes, you will all get the deck, the recording, and marketing materials that Duncan just covered.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And then last but not least, I don't want us to forget, and I want to give a reminder of a previous spiff that we put out, which was the SD-WAN spiff, which gives us 1 times MRR on any sales of SD-WAN. Summer, you might be able to speak a little bit better to this one than I.
Sure. So yeah, 1 times MRR on SD-WAN deals. And of course, then if you bundle them with those 3 solutions seen on the screen, you can earn on top of that. And it's not on here, but also when you bundle with Cox Business Connectivity, you can also earn on top of that. So I can send this out in the follow-up as well with more details. This is just our quick marketing flyer. So I will get all the details out on this spiff as well.
Excellent. And with that, I believe we are going to open up for questions. So what questions do you guys have for us?
Duncan, yeah, I have the questions. Some of them have been answered by Wah. Thank you, Wah, for sending those answers back out. But I think some of these are really great to share with the group. So the first one is, are Microsoft M365 E3, E5 license plans included in this promotion? I think some of them have clients that need enterprise licensing in quantity over 300 that could be interested.
Yeah, so let me talk to the limits a little bit. So the short answer is Microsoft have not today extended the promotion to the enterprise plans. This is a business only plan that Microsoft have extended. So the limits on the business plans are 300 per plan. So there are, if I jump back a second, and sorry to navigate the deck so fast, there are basically 3 business plans. There's Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium. You get 300 against each of these plans. So you could conceivably have a customer that has 900 seats and have 300 against Business Basic, 300 against Business Standard, and 300 against Business Premium for a total of 900 seats. So I've actually had customers that say they have 1,500 seats and they've seated the first 900 against business and then the remaining 600 against an enterprise plan. So hopefully that answers that. But today, Microsoft are not looking to extend it to the enterprise. Okay.
Perfect. And then just wanted to confirm, can you confirm the pricing on the first slide also includes RapidScale support and license? And are both of those less expensive than just the license and standard support from Microsoft?
Yes, our prices are inclusive of all the value that I spoke about. That's one of the great things about the RapidScale offer is, this is a really good question, actually. You see a lot of MSPs and other types of providers, especially, some of just the licensed resellers who will potentially disassociate the license from from support sometimes. We don't do that. We bundle everything. So everything I mentioned, bar the migration. And then sometimes we do, there are scenarios where you can get the migration free as well. But in short, all of the value that is included with the 3-year steady state. So you've got the support, the Nulia, and then if it's bundled with backup, all of that is inclusive in the price. There is no hidden costs, no extras. You're not paying for those as additional. That's all inclusive in the price, correct?
Awesome. Another question here, does Nulia provide training on just 365 functions, or does it also train a client on the RapidScale portal?
So interestingly, Nulia is evolving their product to allow partners to add their own modules. So today the answer is no, but we are actually looking to potentially add our own training modules that potentially could be inclusive of that. So the short answer is not today, but they have expanded their product to allow your own packaging, your own materials to be added. So I think it's something that will be coming, and that will be really exciting. So short answer is not today. I think there's potential for it to come.
Thanks, Duncan. So we have a couple more questions. So one of the partners has a client who has a nonprofit Microsoft license. Is there just one nonprofit license? If so, what does it include?
Well, so nonprofit, so obviously nonprofit is exempt from the promotion, but there are various flavors of nonprofit license. In fact, there's a price book for nonprofit, and there are various different licenses for nonprofit. Nonprofit, I will tell you, includes the same value. We include the same value in both nonprofit and education, if that helps. And I'm happy, if you send an email separately, I'm happy to share what SKUs we support on nonprofit.
Okay, and then we have time for just one more. I may have missed this, but is the managed migration included?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Is the managed migration included?
So so there is a scenario where we do include managed migration for 3-year deals on cutovers. So there is scenario where we do include that, and I'm happy to cover and send out materials on that.
Okay. Awesome. That's all the time that we have. I think we had another question. We can get that answered in the follow-up email.
Excellent. So I really appreciate everybody taking the time. If you have any additional questions, please send them to us. We're happy to take follow-on questions, and appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy schedules.